Marathon County's broadband issues are headed to Washington, D.C. after Senator Tammy Baldwin heard the stories of those impacted here. News Channel 7's Emily Davies was there. Emily, what are people in rural north central Wisconsin facing?
Well, Jeff, I'm sitting in my car in a school parking lot, something that was very familiar for a lot of students and parents last year as they tried to get connected to the internet necessary at the levels that they needed to do either schoolwork or their professional jobs from home, maybe going and looking for a place where their hotspot works. It's something that has been an issue for years but was exacerbated last year. Senator Baldwin talked with a bunch of people from Marathon County who have been working on this issue for years, and they all believe that broadband and internet should be treated like a utility.
There's no one who can claim ignorance right now of how serious the situation is.
Like bobbleheads, the nods of agreement persisted throughout the whole discussion as broadband advocates in Marathon County shared their perspectives with Senator Tammy Baldwin.
28% of households were paying in excess of $80 a month. That's for really terrible service, right?
Roughly 14% of Wisconsinites live in areas that don't have the broadband infrastructure to provide the minimum for acceptable speeds. And many people in our area don't have access at all. In Marathon County alone, it would cost $200 million to get fiber to every home. The county has tried a variety of ways to work with providers.
Quite honestly, we have made very little progress in those 15 years.
It's apparent to me that there's a lot of folks who aren't being held to account and aren't being good stewards of at least the public dollars that are involved in this.
As the Senate is expected to take up the $65 billion bipartisan broadband infrastructure framework agreement next week, Senator Baldwin says she's taken the stories of these complex issues from Marathon County to provide evidence and possible solutions.
It is something that is a necessity in our education system, in our healthcare system, and most importantly in our economy.
Even though somebody might have access, it might not be good enough to do the things kids need to do to be successful today.
They say the digital divide is causing people to leave places like Marathon County for bigger cities where broadband is better overall.
We just don't need access. We need affordable access.
There are a lot of things that need to happen in order to get people that access, and people in rural Wisconsin are optimistic it can happen.
Even though we have horrible access and these very insanely expensive overlapping systems in place just so we can have basic services and run a business and have my kids in school, this year did show me some of the things that could be possible when that stuff was working.
Now, mapping the existing infrastructure of what broadband is already available in counties and cities, that's kept private because a lot of those companies, the companies can keep that private. So if you want to help out with this broadband expansion, you're asked to fill out those surveys that come to your home to tell you what kind of service, how your service is, and also reach out to your legislators at the local, state, and federal level. In Wausau, Emily Davies, News Channel 7.